Hey, Mama. So today I'm answering another question received by one of the mamas in my community. And so one thing that really makes people hesitate with like participating in collaborations is the promotional aspect. I've seen collabs with the requirement of no more than like one promo email and some even up to like four or five promo emails. And there's this worry that, your audience is going to get tired of you sharing about different bundles and summits you're participating in. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, specifically talking about audience fatigue and some ways to navigate it when you have to promote collaborations you're participating in. All right, let's jump into today's episode. Hey, Mama. Welcome to Marketing Without Socials for Moms, the go-to podcast for moms in business who want to stop relying on social media to build their business and build it in a way that fits their current season of life. I'm your host, Andrea Singletary, a wife, mama of two, and visibility strategist for moms. Each week, I'm giving you the inside scoop on how to increase your visibility, leads, and sales through podcasting, email marketing, and collaborations. Ready to truly make social media optional in your business? Grab your chai tea latte and let's dive into today's episode. Okay, so the question that I received from the mama in my community, there's like two parts to it. So the first part was like, for the signature topics, and I think she meant like contributions for bundles, do you find that your audience or your email list isn't as interested if you're sharing the same things? And then the other part was when it comes to like signature talks, how do you make sure your audience doesn't get tired of seeing you talk about the same thing in different collaborations? So essentially what she's getting at here is audience fatigue, right? And so let's talk about it. Audience fatigue is when your audience, stops showing interest in what you're promoting. And it happens for different reasons. They may check out because they decided that what you're promoting is either not of interest to them or something they aren't wanting right now. And so like when it comes to promoting bundles and summits and other collaborations you're participating in, when you're promoting these things to your audience, when they are fatigued, you will see lower open and click rates. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something that does happen. And it also could be too that like the people you're collaborating with, the people who are on your email list, they may also be on some of those people's email lists. And so they're seeing those emails come from you as well as like some of the other email lists that they're on. And so again, this happens, right? And so, with that thought, you may be wondering like, okay, if I participate in bundles and speaking engagements and I promote them to my email community, is that going to cause this audience fatigue? Is it going to cause my audience to kind of check out and, not open my emails as much or not click, the links in my emails? Are they going to get tired of seeing the same bundle contributions or hearing me speak on these same topics? Here's the thing. When it comes to collaborations, it's not so much about you promoting your stuff to your audience. Collaborations are all about visibility and lead generation. Like they are really great for that. And so your focus really is on getting in front of new audiences. So when I'm promoting a collaboration I'm participating in, like when I'm promoting it to my own audience, I don't focus on highlighting myself. I go through the contributions or signature topics and highlight the ones that I think will be of the most interest to my email community. And so most likely like my signature topics and bundle contributions are already familiar to my audience. I talk about these things regularly with my audience because it's part of my messaging and different things like that. So again, collaborations are a visibility strategy. And so your goal is to get in front of new audiences and generate new leads. So that's why my focus isn't so much on my audience in that sense. However, I make sure to participate in collaborations and highlight those resources that I know are going to be relevant to my audience so that way they get introduced to other people who maybe it's not my area of expertise, but they're able to connect with other people who are able to support them in an area that I can't necessarily support them in. And so I really like to think of it that way. Like I'm exposing my community to others that can help them in different areas in their life and business. So I'm not wearing them out. I'm connecting them with other people who are, reliable resources, reliable sources for other areas, again, of their life and business that I can't necessarily support them in because it's not my area of expertise. So if you're still worried about that, like your audience being worn out by seeing you promoting different collaborations and stuff, here are a few ways that you can help prevent audience fatigue. So the first way is letting your email community know what's coming and giving them the option to opt out of receiving those promotional emails, especially if this is a collaboration that requires you to promote multiple times. So like send more than one email. And so that's something you can do. Like, and you can even set it up in your email service provider where essentially they just click a link saying that they do not want to receive any collaboration promotional emails or something like that, however you want to word it. And they will receive that tag. And then you just make sure to exclude those people from receiving those emails. So that's one thing you can do. The other thing is that you can limit the number of collaborations that you do per month that require you to share about it to your email list. So podcast guesting, for the most part, doesn't require you to share about it to your email list. It's nice if you do, but it's usually not a requirement. But when it comes to like bundles and summits and stuff, they do require you to promote it to your email list. So you can just look at, okay, limiting the number that you participate in each month. So that way you aren't feeling like you are overwhelming your audience with all these promotional emails related to collaborations. And so one of the things that I made sure to do, like when creating the social media detox club, was having different collaboration opportunities, because the reality is that people do get burnt out with bundles and speaking engagements and whatnot, like not just necessarily your audience, but even participating in them. Like I took like a couple months off from collaborations like bundles and summits last year, just because it is a lot. Like I really enjoy doing them, but at times it can be like, okay, you know what? I need a little break from this. That's why inside of the Social Media Detox Club, I provide different types of collaboration opportunities. So I find podcast guesting opportunities and speaking engagements in the sense of doing guest trainings inside of people's memberships and masterminds and private communities. And so it's not just bundles and summits, like there are other types of collaborations. I even recently added a magazine feature where you could write an article for a online magazine and be featured that way. I've found blog guesting opportunities. Like it's not just, bundles and summits. And so you can participate in different types of collaborations so that the requirement isn't necessarily that you have to promote it to your email list or anything, but you're still collaborating. You're still getting in front of new audiences and different things like that. And so when you do like a variety of collaboration types, that will really help you, prevent that audience fatigue. The other thing is too, with this is that you have to shift your mindset around it. The reality is that people need to hear the same message multiple times before they take action. So while I do focus on highlighting other people when I'm promoting collaborations to my audience, to my email list, they are able to see whatever I'm contributing, whether it's contributing an offer to bundles or contributing something for a summit. And so it still gives them the opportunity to hear my messaging again, to hear it in a new way. and it can help with that nurturing aspect and eventually lead to a conversion. At the end of the day, you have to remember that this is your business and you get to decide what is best. Sometimes it's easy to let what you think your audience is feeling to determine like your actions, and that will hold you back in so many ways. Lead generation is important for every business, and so it has to be done. Now, how you do it, it is completely up to you. Collaborations are just one way of doing it, but you have to get out of this mindset that you're bugging your audience or you're boring them and different things like that. I think when you approach collaborations like the promotional aspect of um, looking at, okay, how can I connect my audience with, some other great people out there that they may not know about, or connect them with some other resources that may be really beneficial for them. That helps a lot too, but also highlighting your resource. Like maybe it's a resource that, it's normally a paid resource and you offer it in a bundle. And this will be, one of those times where they can access it for free. And so I think just really shifting your mindset around it really helps a lot with that. The other thing is as you're participating in collaborations, you can tailor your messaging for that specific collaboration. So to kind of give an example of that, if you're a copywriter and say the theme of the bundle or the summit is systems, creating systems or something like that. You can talk about the systems you need in place for copywriting and streamlining your copywriting. So while, yes, your audience knows you for copywriting, maybe you haven't talked a lot about creating systems for copywriting. And so that would allow them to experience your messaging in a different way, or see another way in which you support your clients, in which you can support them and educate them and different things like that. Like I said, it's really just looking at it differently. No, you're not bugging your audience or different things like that. No, they're not going to become fatigued. But again, if it is something you're concerned about, you just make sure that you can give them the opportunity to opt out of those type of emails, or making sure when you're promoting these collaborations, you're pointing out those resources or those topics for like summits that are going to be the most relevant to them. Okay, so to recap, your audience is not going to become fatigued with you promoting collabs you are part of, as long as they're relevant to them and it's not the only time you're emailing them. Make sure you're building relationships with them and connecting with them outside of just promo emails for collaborations. The goal of collaborations is visibility, meaning your focus is on getting in front of new audiences and generating new leads. So the primary focus isn't necessarily your community. However, you will make sure to, point out and highlight those resources or those summit topics that you know are going to be relevant to them. Now, if you are looking to get started with collaborations or just wanting support with, finding different collaboration opportunities, join us inside of the Social Media Detox Club. That is exactly what I do for you in the membership. I find those opportunities for you, but also give you the resources to be able to find and create your own collaboration opportunities. So you can learn more at mamaturnedmompreneur.com/membership. And I will link this below in the episode description and in the show notes. All right, Mama, I'll catch you in the next episode. Hey, Mama. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to hang with me. I would love to keep the conversation going. So head to mamaturnedmompreneur.com/marketing without socials to join my email community. I share even more tips and strategies for building a business that doesn't rely on social media and one that fits your current season of life, as well as more behind the scenes of mom and business life. All right, Mama, that's it for today, but I'll catch up with you again next week.